Howdy, it's February 21st, 2018, time for Messianic Moment with Stephen Bruck. And if you like this, please don't forget to click the little like button. Even if you don't like it, I'd appreciate it if you click the little like button anyway. And subscribe on the right side of my website. You see the subscribe button, and if you're watching on YouTube, the little icon in the bottom corner, please click and subscribe. We don't sell your, in YouTube, I don't control what happens to the email, but I don't think they sell anything. I think they just use it to let you know that I've made a new posting. So today I feel a little like Jeremiah, because he never really had anything good to talk about either. I was reading the paper this morning, and I thought I'd put a new twist on things. I want to try to find out where God is not in our society so that we know better where we need to put him back in. But today, I was reading the paper, and of course we're still talking about the aftermath of the horrific shooting that occurred back on Valentine's Day last week at the school. And Governor Scott has called, the governor of Florida has called a roundtable to discuss this, to look at all different aspects, security, what to do with regards to how to be better security in schools, what police actions can we take, what should we do, and this is what got me. Okay, so this psychologist from, I'm reading it here, from the Florida State University College of Medicine, stated that she thinks we can proactively identify mental illness in children by looking at the mother's and the family history. And here's the scary thing, okay? This is what she says. Paper reported, she says that we can, and I quote from the paper, predict pretty well which families will have this forward trajectory even before the child is born, unquote. I don't know about you, but that scares the HE double hockey sticks out of me, okay? Because what we're talking about here is somebody's going to say, let me evaluate. Now, I have a lot of respect for the science of psychology, but not much respect for a lot of the psychologists out there practicing it, or psychiatrists for that matter. But we got to have somebody look at your family history and evaluate you and determine before the baby's even born that this kid's going to be a problem? I mean, God knows this from the womb. That's what Jeremiah says, right? God knew me in the womb. God knows this from the womb, but can people do that? Can people really do that? And if they do, then what? Is the kid going to be born into some sort of program? Are they going to take this little child and take him away from the mother because the mother's obviously going to be influencing him? Are they going to put him or her in some sort of state institution? Or are they going to restrict their rights as they grow up? Oh, hey, you know what? When you were still 3 months in the womb, somebody identified the fact that you're probably going to shoot people, so you're never going to own a weapon or a firearm or a knife, and we'll arrest you if we even find out you're thinking about it. I mean, does that sound good to you? Not to me, I also read about how a Florida middle school had a couple of boys joking in the hallway about shooting somebody and high-fiving each other. Okay, so that's stupid. All right, now, if I was PC, I would say their humor was inappropriate. But, hey, it was stupid. All right? So they're joking about it. Somebody hears about it, reports it, and what happens? Do these kids get sent to the principal? No. They get arrested by the police. Now, they were let go, but, I mean, still, it's scary. And the school's telling the children, anything you hear, you report. If you hear something or you see something, you tell someone. All right? And it's scary. It really is, because it sounds very much like, Big Brother. And it's bad. What I see, and here's where the doom and gloom comes in, folks. Sorry. But what I see is that the United States government, at all levels, from federal down right to civil to local, it's telling everybody that they must report anything they think is suspicious. Doesn't that sound familiar? I mean, what has history shown us about people who are told, report anything suspicious? It's like Nazi Germany, where children turned in parents, and neighbors couldn't talk to their other neighbors or do anything or say anything because they were afraid they'd be reported. And if they were reported, they were guilty. I see it. The sexual harassment things don't make it any different. I mean, all of the, pardon the expression, exposure that we're having to sexual harassment is making everybody ultra-sensitive. We're sensitized to anything now. If somebody sneezes, hey, what do you mean? What are you talking about? It's just really bad. And what I see is a setup for the enemy to take charge. Okay? This is what's happening. I mean, look, go to a major transportation hub, a bus station, a train station, an airport. You hear announcements. You see signs that say, if you see anything suspicious, report it. Now, what if somebody has a personal grudge against somebody? I mean, this is the perfect type of opportunity for people to do their worst to other people, not only without being accused of being a yenta or a gossip, but actually being rewarded. Thank you. You turned in Stephen Bruck. We heard that he had been joking. He said that this is the work of the enemy. So you turned him in because you saw a package in his front yard that nobody picked up for a day because he was out of town. I mean, you can just go on crazy. It's insane. You know, and more doom and gloom, folks. It's going to get worse. Okay? It's going to get worse. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. See why I feel like Jeremiah? Okay? We cannot overtake this. We cannot control it. We cannot stop it. Okay? And we cannot avoid it. You know, it's like Ginsburg's theorem. I love Ginsburg's theorem. It's Murphy's law to one step higher. Ginsburg's theorem says you can't win, you can't break even, you can't even quit the game. Okay? That's where we're at, folks. You know, this is fear and intimidation. This is an atmosphere of everybody being sensitized to anything. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. Think about it. That's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants fear and intimidation. And it's not going to come from the enemy. It's going to come from each other. We're going to do it to ourselves. You know, that's the way the enemy works, isn't it? You know, he or maybe she controls people and gets them to do the worst work they can to other people. All the enemy has to do is plant an idea, get a little fear, get a little suspicion, and let human nature take its course. Yeah. And this is the kind of environment, again, where people can just rat out somebody because they have a personal grudge. You know, did I sexually harass you? No, but, you know, I don't like you. I don't like you. And the other day, you said you thought I had a really nice dress on. Well, you're sexually harassing me. You know, it can happen. Now, look, I'm not a card-carrying member of the ACLU, and I'm not a libertarian, you know. But I am somebody who believes that what I read in the Bible is true. And what I read in the Bible is that things are going to get worse. All right? The judgment on the world is coming. God has judged Israel. All right? Israel's out of the picture for the moment. It's time now for everything the prophet said would happen, and all the signs are showing up. You know, God is going to judge the nations. It's not going to be pretty. You know, and that's why I say we can't avoid this. You know, we cannot stop what God has decreed will happen. We should stop wasting time and energy and money trying to avoid something that is unavoidable, and we should take time and energy and money to try to save all those who we can save beforehand. And we do that by leading them to Messiah, leading them to God. We need, in the midst of all this horrible events, to maintain hope. Not in the hope that we can stop it, because we can't, but in the hope of God. We need to get away from what's happening and look towards eternity. And we need to start focusing on the back end of this, because we're in the midst of it, folks. You know, it's like the old saying, when you're surrounded by crocodiles, it's hard to remember the original purpose was drain the swamp. Well, we got crocodiles all around us, and the swamp is not going to be drained. Okay? What we need to do is we need to weather it out. We need to strengthen ourselves. We need to help increase not just our faith, but bring others to faith. Because this is it, folks. It's happening. You know? I'm no Jeremiah, and I don't profess to be a prophet. But I do think I'm on the right track when I say we need to prepare for what's coming, because we can't get out of the way. We cannot get out of the way. You know, I see the writing on the wall. Do you? So, sorry. It's a doom and gloom. I'll try to be happier next time. But, you know, mega churches and people with thousands of listeners to their blogs, when you read it, all they ever do is talk about how nice God is, the lovey-dovey, the things will be great, things will be happy, God will love you, you know. And that's all true, but God also is the judge of the world. And the stuff's going to hit the fan, and it's hitting it now, all right? I'm sorry if I'm the doom and gloom guy, but again, like Jeremiah, I'm no Jeremiah, but I see what's happening, and I hope you do too, because faith is also believing that when God says He's going to judge the world, He's going to judge the world. And we need to get out of the rosy glasses. We need to take the glasses off, and we need to look in the eye of the future and say, I'm ready for you. Bring it on. Other than that, have a great day, and please keep listening. Again, subscribe, like, and share me out. I appreciate it, and may God bless you.